Are you thinking about starting leathercraft? If the answer is yes, then stay tuned. I've put together 3 of my most recent leathercraft projects in a single video just for you. One of them is even a tool holder to keep your punches and stamps right near you while you're working. And the best news of all is a free PDF template for each one of these projects, so you can start working today. Keep watching this video so you can figure out how to get those free PDF templates delivered straight to your inbox. Welcome to Big Stack's Small Workshop. The first project is a leather bookmark that I featured in my Harbor Freight leatherworking tools video. First, let's get that straight cut. Look at that, beautiful. Now let's cut off a strip. All right. Next, let's cut out a rectangle that's exactly 1.5 by 7 inches. Dog ear both of your corners on one end. I'm measuring in 1/4 inch from each side on the top and 1 inch down on the side. Punch 2 holes in the top and 1 slightly larger hole just below it. Next, slide each end of your thin strip of leather through the upper 2 holes. Bring them back together through the bottom hole. And pull them up like so. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube can share it with more makers just like you. The second project I have for you is from my most recent video, and that is the customizable leather keychain. Use scissors to cut out your desired size from the free leathercraft template I'll provide for you. After you've cut it out, tape it down to your leather using packing tape. Or, if you follow the advice from previous videos I've done, you can glue your template to thin cardboard and trace around it. Use the same fancy knife to cut the keychain out of your leather. For best results, keep the knife straight up and down as you cut. Using the template, mark your punch holes with a scratch awl or ice pick. Use a punch to cut 2 holes in your leather. Whoa, 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 Slick! You're going to ruin your cutting mat that way. Always use a poundo board or something else hefty behind your leather so you don't mar up your cutting mat. Much better. Notice how I use the punch to make a slight indentation and make sure my punch is centered with my mark before I cut the hole. This will save you a lot of frustration and wasted leather. You can use sandpaper or an emery board if your edges need a little bit of a touch-up. Wet your leather really good and get ready for the best part of making these keychains. You can customize them with any craft tool stamp you can find. Early on in my leatherworking career, this was a great way to make personal gifts for friends without having to spend a lot of money, since these stamps are only about $4 each. If you have a 3D printer, you can even make your own custom leather stamps. When your leather looks like the surface is fairly dried out, you're ready to start stamping. Put a really solid object like granite or steel underneath your keychain so you're able to make a good impression. If you don't have this, a plastic cutting board should suffice for the time being. When it comes to finishing veg tan leather, Neat's Foot oil is one of my go-to products. It can take the very pale beige of your leather and darken it. How dark it gets all depends on how much oil you add to your product. It also does a great job making your leather pliable and supple, which is one reason I really like it. After I've applied oil to both sides of the leather, I like to wait overnight and let it soak in deep into the leather. After your leather is exactly the way you want it, you can apply your antiquing gel. This will fill in all the little lines and crevices of your design, making the image pop out really nicely. I like to apply it to my laser engraved areas as well for a more contrasted image. Take a rag out and fold it over a couple of times so you can wipe away the excess antiquing with a flat surface. T-shirt rags are best because it can glide over the recessed areas and leave more of the antiquing in place. Look at how much sharper the image is when you use antiquing. Let your antiquing dry completely before sealing it in. To seal my keychains, I like to airbrush a product called Tan Coat, which is specifically designed for leather. I cut my tan coat with about 10 or 20% distilled water. Then I spray the keychains, covering them with a fine mist of tan coat. Wait about 5 minutes for the surface to dry, then spray them again. You can build up multiple layers of tan coat on your leather. I usually give it about 6 or 7 good coats, and then let my leather dry completely. It's time to finish our keychains. To lock the actual key rings in place, I slide a hollow rivet and use a rivet setting tool to finish everything off. Keep your tool as perpendicular as possible and hit it a few times with a solid hammer or mallet. I know I said don't use a steel hammer, but I like the solid force it provides, and I have yet to mushroom the end of my tool. If it eventually messes the tool up, it won't be too expensive to replace. I like the contrast of the copper-colored rivets against the brown of the leather. If you're looking for those free plans, all you need to do is sign up for my newsletter. And as a special gift for you, I'll deliver all 3 of these PDF project templates straight to your inbox, absolutely free. I've put a link in the description below so you can sign up now. The last project we're going to do is from November of last year, and it is invaluable to me. I have 3 of these on my workbench to hold all my leatherworking tools. you have an idea for a project, I would love to hear about it. Do me a favor, drop me a note in the comments below. Remember, Big Stacks grows, Big Stacks builds, and Big Stacks makes. And I'll see you next time at Big Stacks Small Workshop. If you're looking for another video with multiple projects, click on this one right here and you won't be disappointed.